I've come to the realization lately that Tarkov's NPCs just aren't fun. I mean, we have the cultists, we got the rogues recently, we got Tagilla, the new bosses, and we're still waiting for Lightkeeper and his new guard. And I was always hyped for all of these announcements, for each of the factions. I would rush on to play whenever they drop in an update. But recently it seems every time they talk about a new elite NPC or a boss, I'm actually just unlikely to even want to interact with them, let alone be hyped. You see, the thing is, these NPCs just aren't fun, and I know the classic bullshit thing of Tarkov's not supposed to be fun, but they're not realistic either, in my humble opinion, right? A game's elite NPCs and its bosses should be challenging, very challenging. But the rogues, the bosses, the guards, they're not challenging. They're just straight up unfair. A challenging enemy should be more dangerous because they're unpredictable, more aggressive, or just overall smarter. A perfect example of this for me was the LMB faction from the first Division game. Now, doesn't matter if you like the game or not, but they did a really good job of separating their elite faction from the rest. Now, the LMB's guns didn't do more damage or anything like that, but what they did do is they worked together like a real team of soldiers trying to kill you. They would suppress you, they would try and flank you, they'd pull you out of cover. If too many of them were dying, they'd get you to come to them instead of letting you cheese it and just sit at a doorway and kill them all as they come through. And they had medics healing the people you were shooting, and by just doing all of that, just by being smarter, they stood out as significantly more dangerous than the other factions in the game. Not only were they more dangerous, but it also forced you to work with your squad as a team to make sure that you don't get taken out really quickly by them. Contrast that to the rogues from Tarkov, for example. Their health pool is so high they can just tank headshots from a variety of different rounds. They can see you from like 250 meters away using just iron sights, and they can lock onto your head and shoot it consistently even while running sideways, and they're just no smarter than the average scav. So essentially they have wall hacks, they have aimbot, and they have increased health. When it's all said and done, they actually resemble cheaters much more so than a boss or an elite NPC. And those things aren't exactly something that better teamwork can help you with unless you just decide to snipe them from really far away and want to use the spotter or something. Now, I know there's been plenty of videos on Tarkov's broken scavs, but I feel like this goes a little beyond what is usually talked about. For example, Nikita's talked about the wrong prioritization of the NPCs, for example, when they flip you off when they really should just be shooting you. But I feel this is more of a design choice. Somebody had to consciously increase the detection range on the rogue. Somebody had to consciously increase their health and their lock-on probability. And it's just not fun. And yes, Tarkov is supposed to be fun. Tarkov is fun. The feeling of extracting with good loot in Tarkov is better than the entirety of a lot of other games. But the developers, BSG, won't know that something needs changing unless it's brought to their attention. And I guess that's really what I'm trying to do here, is to bring it into light. Because while I understand that BSG is developing a lot of new features for the game, the way AI and NPCs work is a core part of the gameplay experience, and at the moment, it's just no fun. Not broken necessarily, just kind of dumb and, well, boring. Now, I don't have an exact idea of how it would be changed to make it better. If you have any ideas of how to make the bosses more challenging and yet fair, go ahead and put that in the comments and we'll try and like brainstorm something together. And while you're there, obviously subscribe. But the AI and the NPCs in Tarkov need to be made better. Not more robotic, just more human, if anything. So BSG, I guess what I'm trying to say is please fix game. Thank you. Go ahead, subscribe, like, comment, bell. You know, it's not your first time on YouTube. Anyway, see ya.